sometimes I think women need to have the truth in love, or in what you call it, relationship, meaning, listen, I've been there before. This is what happened, like that, because it makes more sense. When you just Geno Jennings is the bomb. I love him.
Yeah, but see,
Absolutely love him.
but the thing about it is security balls is this. Remember, when I look at you, I always think about Monique when she addressed the young ladies about the bonnets.
Right.
She was like, my babies, I love you. I love you so much. This is your auntie talking. Just come out. You can't be in the airport with the sandals and the bonnets and all the other
Pajama bottoms.
pajama bottoms.
Yeah.
They went to Bass to get that woman canceled.
Yeah.
You know what? We need to be fine. We need to go find Monique. I haven't seen her in a while. She might be in hiding somewhere.
Okay, so
And
tell me how do I relate to that? You think I smooth it over too much?
it's not that you smooth it over too much. I think you come to the table with old school virtues.
Well,
And
let me add to that. Let me tell you something else that I come to the table with, and that's the YouTube table. I'm a woman,
right.
and I feel like this is a man's world.
Actually, it's a man's world, but all men respect virtue. You
Yeah,
see what I'm
but
saying?
when
Like
I
if
tell you I get attacked, or I have before, and if I respond too quickly, or my truth is too sharp, they will be canceling me too.
well, that's true, but the thing about it is this: you're not going to have problems with the men. You're not, because the men can't touch you. You see, because then you're going to hit them with virtue. Then the argument is lost. I can't touch you, and I'm probably as radical as they get. And the reality is that virtue is the kryptonite of the manosphere. You can't touch. What are they going to say? Well, I'm a married woman. The, all the manosphere's arguments are defeated. You can't touch that because I think that's the problem. So we can't touch you. We can say whatever
Right,
we want to say, but
right.
that's what women don't realize is that the virtue is the power, and that's through the Bible and through the Word of God. You can
I agree.
defeat any of these arguments that manosphere have because we're only men, and at the end of the day, men respect virtue. It just is the way it is. We can't change that.
You're right.
Security
So
boss. That's what I was telling you on the last one. Remember, I was saying, look,
that's what
see
I
how
was
it
getting
comes
ready to
full
come right
circle.
to you. I was getting ready to come right to you for a couple of reasons, but you're right. You did say that. I just, I'm learning. I started off with I'm new at this,
Right.
but I see things and I hear things and I want to know, I want to get it right because I do want people to hear me.
Right.
So it's a balance to this. It's a thin line. I think I said that when you told me that before. I think I told you it's a thin line. So I'm learning. I'm gonna get it. I just, the offend part is not the problem. It's who's listening is the problem, or
Right.
that's my concern, I should say.
Well, they're not
That's
listening, first of all. I mean, at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, what they're listening to is what they hear in popular culture. And popular culture tends to be more powerful, especially the way our homes are designed nowadays, because the first teacher is the house. And we have assassinated the nuclear family. I mean, if you even look at the platforms, you look at even Black Lives Matter, that was supposed to be an organization designed to deal with civil rights issues. You look in their platform, they deleted it now, but it says to redefine the nuclear family.
That's correct.
You're trying to redefine and restructure what the foundation of a community. And what happens with a lot with our community is that you have to start with a moral standard before anything can be achieved. And the fundamental problem is that nobody wants to live up to that moral standard. And
nope.
then everything goes to, if you don't have that moral standard, you can't fix nothing. There'll be no foundation built, there'll be no community built with first having a moral code that people have to live by. But they don't want to talk about that. They want to
I
talk about,
agree totally. The Ingram experience, hold on for a minute. The thinking man, I appreciate you so much tonight. I know I have had you longer than we anticipated.
It's
And
okay.
I know you gotta go.
We got to do this again. We got to do it. I'm gonna
Definitely.
clear my schedule.
Definitely. Anytime. You know what to do. Just,
Yep,
same thing you did last time. I'm open to it. I love to talk.
most
So
definitely.
yeah, and I
Ingram,
love the way
Bethany.
Yeah, sorry, but I didn't want to talk too much, guys.
No, just stay right there for a minute. I like what you're saying too, because that added another perspective to the conversation. We kind of went off a little bit, but thinking, man, we got to get back to it and continue to have these conversations with different questions about what we still talking about, because we don't have the answer yet.
Right.
But
we still have two topics that we didn't get to yet, as far as being, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So we still have to get to that, because I think that'll be interesting as well. But I really appreciate you guys for having me on. I hope you guys have a good weekend. Be safe. Until next time.
See you soon.
All right.
Bye-bye. All right. Miss Bethany.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me read this poll. Earlier we did a poll, and I think the poll is, what is the most important thing in marriage? It was money, love, commitment, and honesty. Ingram, what you think was chosen the most? Money, love, commitment, and honesty.
Well, from the woman's perspective, most marriages end from, I think, financial reasons is the number one cause, just going by statistics. But I think from a man's perspective, I think commitment, loyalty, and love, because for us, we value those particular virtues more than anything else.
All right, Bethany, what you think?
I said honesty.
Oh, so guess what? 70%. This was men and women, and it was commitment. 70%. 70% of the people who took the poll say commitment was the most important thing. Most important. All right. So listen, Miss Bethany, what are you going to add to this conversation? Because you are a married woman of 6 years, right?
Yes.
Listen, I got to continue to throw you under the bus. You know that, right? Or is that going to just be between me and you?
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's understanding though.
Okay. I'm just letting you know you're not by yourself. I've done the same thing, but I haven't been called out yet, though.
My husband has fun with that, because he knows what I bring to the business, and he thinks it's hilarious. He was like, "Okay, I don't pay you, whatever. Go, you shop."
I know, that was too cute. That was funny. I must say. Listen, what the funk said. He got his popcorn. Where did it go? Wait a minute. Oh, he got his popcorn and ready to fall in love with Miss Bethany. Miss Bethany is married of 6 years. I'm glad I said that first. What the funk? But we're still looking for you, because you good though. You good. You know how to handle money and everything. So you a plus. You got to have 5 points to be complete.
Look, tell him come to Houston. I got a couple single girlfriends. You know.
Who knows where he is? He might be around the corner. I don't know. But listen, you know what we've been talking about, marriage in 2021, and you are married. So I know what you're going to say, but let everybody else hear your story, because you have just confirmed the Ingram experience, his scenario about men older wanting younger women. So go ahead and tell us about that.
Okay. And I was getting my camera together, so I missed some of Mr. Ingram's conversation. So yes, my husband is 21 and some change years older than me. We met, I was younger. We didn't think anything of it. And we happened to be in the same city, but we met in New Orleans, and we're both from there. So I was like, what are you going to do with a 24-year-old? He was like, yeah. So we dated, and he thought he was going to move back to LA. I was in my profession. I was in public accounting. Yeah, it was a lot of coincidence, you know. So anyway, my parents were not a fan of it at first. And because my husband says my parents are very naive. I did grow up in the church, knew better, didn't do better. And 2 years later, me and him, I got pregnant, and that just that broke me a little bit, because I got pregnant, but God's grace, I would say, in that whole situation brought us to our 6 years of marriage. We have 2 handsome boys that we're raising to be men, and I cannot complain about my life. I do stay home. I stopped working after I had my first son, and I've been home ever since. So
How about that? Now tell us about this though. What are some struggles that you may have had? Because remember, we're talking to women because it seems as though the men pretty much got an idea on how to get on their purpose. So, but I'm hearing there's not a lot of women out there. The women are a little bit, you know, a little slow at it. We're not saying they're not getting it, but they're a little slow at it. So what would you say to some of your single girlfriends that are aligning themselves to be married, or they should be? They should be.
Ladies, you got to do the work. You have to do the work. And they're sacrificing that. I remember I was supposed to go to a happy hour dinner with my two best friends. And at the time, my husband was my boyfriend at the time, and I was currently pregnant. And he was like, hey, we got to talk. We got to work through some things. And I canceled. Like, I literally showed up to the location. Oh, my husband, Brett called. I got to go. Oh, but he could wait. I said, no. This is the future father of my child. Like, I can't, no. And I had to put them on a back burner. And I know on the outside looking in, people saw that at a sense of control, or me just kind of falling, to whatever his needs were. And it's kind of like, y'all don't see the importance of this. I'm not marrying friends. I'm marrying, this man.
Who was the father of the baby that you were carrying.
Exactly. So everybody else.
We got to talk to our ladies. We are making frequently that mistake, aren't we? We're trusting these men, aren't we? We're trusting them. I'm glad yours worked out. I'm very glad.
Yes, I think some people see mine as kind of like the fairy tale. And I know that's not the case for everybody. But like I said in the last show we did, I was called into, I went to counseling. I got Christian counseling. I got outside therapists. I had to do the work because I had to find out, in the past or whatever, I was kind of very free in my singleness and just kind of, yes, the hot girl summer. Yes, I can admit to that.
I understand. You see the comment, red lipstick vibes. So did your pregnancy come first? It did. It did. That's what we're talking about.
My pregnancy did come first.
For it. Hers really worked out though, which is fortunate. You're fortunate.
It did. And you know what? To be totally transparent, I know in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, did he marry me because I was pregnant? And my husband to this day will admit, like, no, we talked marriage. The pregnancy kind of fast forward some things, but it was still in the process. And I was like, okay, now I'm like, when were you going to ask me? And, like, don't worry about, the minimal facts. That doesn't matter.
I'm glad you did it. I'm glad it worked out.
I will say that as a Christian, I do believe there's still consequences for your actions. And so in the struggles in our marriage, you could say nothing serious, but just me having to put my pride to the side and having to sacrifice all the freedom I used to have to one person, that was a lot. And that was a cause for tension a little bit. Like, no, I can't drop what I want to do and go to happy hour. No, I can't go to so-and-so's baby shower or go out of town for a wedding. I have a child.
You had to submit. You had to submit.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes.